Today's session, How to Promote Your Website, is brought to you by ICIWorld.com, on the internet since 1994, learning various ways to help real estate brokers and salespeople use the powers of the internet. And it's helped you to understand the powers of the internet specifically for licensed real estate salespeople. There's many services that we offer that benefit the public when the brokers learn all these various tools, and more exclusive information becomes available to the public when the brokers learn these various tools as we grow throughout the world. Today's session is very special, very important, how to promote your website, because if you don't have any traffic going to your website, what use is a website? But we're going to cover some things that you should have on your website first to set it up, because if you don't have your website set up, you actually can be spending all that money, spending all that time, and you're actually not getting leads, and you wonder why. And we're going to cover the reasons why people get leads and why they do not get leads. And when we have these registrations for webinars, we get up to 100 people registering for it. But I can tell you now, about 90% of them simply like to receive a copy by email afterwards. So we are recording this session today, and each person that both attends the session and who has registered for the session will actually receive a copy of this after the event by email later on, about 6 to 7 hours later on, around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight Eastern time. Okay, so let's get started. Basically, my name is Gary Nuska with ICI World. We've been on the internet since 1994. We were the first real estate company on the internet. In those days, it was Alta Vista. And we've gone through the school of hard knocks and many, many, many knocks through the years, and many challenges through the years. And it got to a point where one time where we had many people with websites on here, and we decided to attend a World Search Engine Optimization Convention, which was several $1,000s. And we attended that on behalf of all our members, because if we could learn what it takes to help optimize a website, it saves each and every person having to go to these world conventions, search engine conventions. And we're going to share with you some important lessons that we have learned from these search engine conventions. But I can tell you now, this is not a science. It's not an exact science. It's almost an art on how to do this stuff. And through the years, we've kind of learned a little bit, and we're going to share what we know from our end of the world. It is by no means an end-all and be-all for everyone that promotes website, but it is going to open up your mind to the importance of what you should be doing and the reasons why, and we're going to cover that today. So you're going to be getting the benefit of having attended a World Search Engine Optimization Convention today. Now, we're applying this from a realtor's point of view, real estate people making use of the tools of the internet, what works and doesn't work. And we really encourage you to see the testimonials online. And how you can do that is by simply going to ICIWorld.com. We kind of think it's important because you're going to wonder what is so important to stay and listen through this particular webinar when there's lots of other things to do in the world and everybody is overwhelmed with information and suffering from information overload. But we want to show you this, especially people that don't know about ICI World, because this is open to all realtors in the world. And you're going to see all kinds of business being done. And you'll notice that one lead can help you make $50,000, $30,000, $100,000. So there's a lot of money being made by generating leads from the internet. And we're going to be showing you today how we can almost assure you that you can get leads if you do certain things. And that's why we call our service a pledge to you. And we have a pledge that for all our real estate members of our society of real estate salespeople, a pledge that if you do the certain things, you're going to be generating leads, and you should be generating referrals, and you should be making money basically every 90 days. Otherwise, give us a call. And we wanted to show you all of these testimonials so that you know you are not wasting your time. Unfortunately, we cannot speak as fast as everyone thinks that's going to be listening to this video now and in the future. And so you have to have a little patience on your part, because it's not as exciting as watching Dancing with the Stars, although some of the testimonials are. But it's really about learning the powers of the internet and it's about real estate, and it can be kind of slow as we go along. But if you can just kind of relax, have a cup of coffee, a bowl of soup, sort of while we're doing this right now, a sandwich, that would be kind of good to kind of listen to all of this good stuff. So we've covered our pledge. Basically, every 90 days, you should be triggering leads. This goes for all our members and for anyone considering joining to just simply make an appointment with us. If anybody needs help, you simply go to our main website, iciworld.com, and you click on Make an Appointment, and then we will help you one-on-one. This is our pledge to you. And then at your appointed time, you simply click on this webinar workshop, and that's how you get the training for things here today. In the future going forward, for people that want to register for webinars, you click on this one down here that says for members, and then in the future, anybody listening to this, you can pass this on to other brokers and salespeople in your office. Managers should pass this on to everyone in their office. You simply come down here and you can register for how to promote your website. And you can also register for mastering the powers of the internet and how to work exclusive information. For the people that wish, the recorded seminars are actually recorded in this ICI World educational YouTube video. I'm going to click on that, and you'll see a number of videos come up, and this is for resources for you going forward that you can listen to, and I'm going to just recommend a couple of them right now that you can kind of get onto. You'll see these various seminars coming up. Every single one applies to this day. There's the one that we just put on, and you'll see as little as 12 minutes ago, we've just uploaded that from doing a seminar last evening in Markham, Ontario, and it applies for every broker and salesperson in the world, whether you're in Florida, California, or Vancouver, Collingwood, Montreal, it doesn't matter. This stuff applies to you. There's people from 138 countries visiting this website, and they'll be visiting your website when you get it up and running. And I'm going to recommend a couple of them that what you might want to do is to click on, let's click on this one here. It says 20 years as a real estate broker, best tools compiled into 120 minutes. They're all compiled into all of these videos, but if you wanted to focus on one, you could start with that one. And then you'll see that we actually publish these how to promote your website right on the internet here, because this can really help you generate leads. So I'm going to suggest this one here and this one here for now, and then all of the others you can actually see from time to time, and they all do vary just a little bit. That's at our ICI World Inc. That's how to search the right one, ICI World Inc. on the internet in YouTube. Okay, let's back out of here and continue on. Okay. The other thing you should do is subscribe to the social media, because going forward after today, you can kind of lose track of what's happening today. And I'm going to show you that you should actually subscribe to the social media on ICI World. Again, you come down to for members, and the social media should be here. Where is it here? I know it's at the bottom of the page. If you go right to the very bottom, you can click on Facebook, Twitter, and then on all of these various things, you should friend us here, and then you can subscribe to receive things from our, let me just log in here. Hang on 1 second. There's that, ICIWorld.net. And let's see if that's going to work with a little bit of luck. Yep, we're in. Okay, and if you subscribe to this, you'll get various messages, maybe one a week, something like that, that will be sending off to you from time to time. Real estate networking on your phone, upcoming events that come up in the industry, various things that are happening in the business. So you can get copies of that from time to time. It'll keep you plugged into things. And the same thing with our Twitter channel. You should actually click in on Twitter as well, and that'll keep you plugged into what's going on. And we put tips and tricks and all kinds of good things in all the social media. There is also something very special that I think everyone in the world, including the public, again, if I went right down to the bottom of our front page, you'll see that there's Facebook and Twitter, and there's the YouTube channel too that you can click on. But this one here is actually our newspaper. And this newspaper is really kind of good to read from time to time, because you're going to get ideas on promotion of websites and all the tools of the internet, and also the real estate industry. And so there's a great selection of content that's on here, and you can actually click on enter your email address and you can subscribe to receive it. And that's just great for you to kind of subscribe to, and that's our world newspaper. LinkedIn, the same thing. Get connected with us because we do put the odd article. We do not overwhelm with articles every single day. If there's something important, then we put it through. Averages maybe one article every 2 weeks, maybe something like that. And it should be of interest of every single licensed real estate broker and salesperson in the world, the tools of the internet. Now, why should brokers promote with a passion? And we're talking passion. And the reason is that a website is your office building on the internet. It's every bit as important as spending a few $1,000,000 building a real estate office on a busy street, Yonge Street in Toronto, or any place at all in the world for that matter, in order to bring in clients looking for real estate so that you can provide your wonderful services to people to help them buy and sell homes and commercial property. And so if you have a website, and websites can be as little as $16.50 per month with ICI World, and the beauty of it is it can trigger leads. It can trigger a lead every bit as important as someone coming in the front door looking to buy property from out of town. So those are the kind of reasons why you should definitely, every single salesperson should have a real estate website. And if you know nothing about the internet, all you know is how to turn a computer on maybe and how to push a mouse and go to a website, these are turnkey websites that can be set up for you to work on the internet. And for the sophisticated people, the rabbits and the thoroughbreds of the world on the internet, they have powerful features that we're going to point out today that hopefully you will appreciate because they work. They generate leads. And you're going to see how that is today. A lot of people have gotten discouraged over the internet because they started up, and I call it the Model T Ford syndrome, where you get started and it conks out. Well, there's a way to kind of crank it up, and this time around you can really get it going for yourself, and you've got to stay with it. So I admire and respect all the people who stick with it to try to make the internet work, because there's 3.5 billion people on the internet, and there is a way to have people reach your website and give you a call on a listing. And when they do, you have a chance to make $10,000, $50,000, $30,000 and more. And that's exactly what's happening with people that have these websites. It also works for you in the background. While you're doing other things, your website is on the internet 24 hours a day, and it can be working for you, serving all your prospects and clients. And we're going to cover a marketing plan. I call it the race. We have a blog that talks about the race in real estate to get your mobile website, and everybody should have a mobile website, onto the phones of every single one of your prospects and clients in the next 1 to 2 years before other brokers do it. That way, if you could imagine all the people, when you go to a wedding, a family wedding, whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 people attend that wedding, can you imagine if everybody at that wedding had your real estate website on their phone as a shortcut? Now, there's a reason I talk about shortcuts rather than the app. The apps use some resources on your handheld mobile phone, and if you have a lot of apps, you'll find that your phone starts to run down quicker and the battery runs down. So apps do use a tiny bit of resources, but nevertheless, if you have a lot of them, it's using up resources, and you might find your battery running down on your phone. So we also have a mobile website called ICIWorld.mobi. Uses up zero resources, ICIWorld.mobi. And a lot of this stuff that we're doing today, you can click on YouTube on the mobile shortcut link on your phone that we recommend that you add as a shortcut to your phone. And you can come in and listen to these videos that we're doing right now over the internet. If you're listening to it on a computer, you can actually be doing it on your phone. The one caveat is that make sure you are on wireless. If you're on wireless, it is not using up your bandwidth So make sure you're on wireless. And if you have trouble understanding that, you're welcome to make an appointment at iciworld.com. Even if you're not a member, we will show you how to do this stuff because we think eventually everyone's going to be on this service. It's absolutely inevitable. If everyone's making money, why shouldn't everyone be on it? So that's what it's all about. So you can see that one lead in real estate can and is making a lot of people a lot of money. And so we're suggesting that this is your business. You can send buyers to your website and let them search. So if they're looking for an apartment building and you're a residential agent that doesn't have any apartment buildings or even any listings for that matter, you're going to be sending them to your website, and we're going to show how you should have a special website and the special links from ICI World called widgets on your website that are inevitable to trigger leads. Now, we know some people have spent a lot of money promoting their website and they're wondering why they're not getting calls and doing business. Well, one of the reasons could be when they go to your website now, all realtors in the world should have the MLS on their website so people can search the MLS listings. And if you have it from within your website where the customer does not leave your website, that's one major advantage. Some people have it that you click on the search for MLS and it takes you away from your website. If that happens, people are going to click on the links and get the other broker, and they're going to end up doing a deal with the other broker instead of you, even though you triggered the lead. Well, that's fine for the listing agent, and that's wonderful. And that's the bottom line in this business. When we started MLS, basically in the late 1800s is when MLS started. It was on the premise that if you help me with my listing, sell my listing, I'll help you sell your listing. And it works wonderfully right to this day, and it'll continue to work wonderfully going forward. But now there's some additional services that you can also do. And the services from ICI World, which is one of the world's largest national databases of exclusive information, is what we're specializing in. And we have a way of providing you with that information, much like how you receive the links for listings on your website. We have links for listings from ICI World that are being accumulated by all the brokers that are members who also say, if you help me sell my listings, I'll help you sell your exclusive listings. So it works the same way with exclusive. The difference is that the links from ICI World, when they're on your website, people cannot click on them. It means that they have to call you for more information, and that's the major difference. It's like having classified ads from the real estate industry on your website, but there's only one person that can handle all the leads, and that's going to be you once you have these widgets on your website. And there's 6 of them that everyone can have, and they can be tailored for every area of the world. And the world one, for instance, is one. There's 2 world ones you should have right away. One of them is our database one, world one, that people can search any listings in the world placed by the real estate brokers and salespeople. The other one is the FSBO one, placed by all the public in the world, but the only people that can access the contact information will be you, the members, if you join ICI World. Everything we're doing now is absolutely free. It's free to have the shortcut ICIWorld.mobi on your mobile phone. It's free to have the app. It's free to search and make a connection and go do a deal with one of the members. There is no charge until such time as you wish to place your own advertising on ICI World, and in that case it's basically $40 per month or $319 per year, and there is a little special if you stick around to the end of this video that you could get started. So we're suggesting that, yeah, you can make a lot of money, promote your website with a passion, get people going to it, work the call, show property, close deals, make money, move on to the next one, and go from there. Your customers will love it. They want realtors with technology to serve them. And that way they feel they can get a higher and better price and terms for their property when they have it for sale if you're using all of these wonderful tools of the internet. So one of the marketing strategies is to get every one of your customers And we're going to cover search engine optimization called SEO. People think that this particular seminar is just about SEO, but SEO is only one way to promote a website. It's not the only way. And there's other ways to promote your website too. And we're going to kind of cover a lot of other different ways and open up your mind that you can get people coming to your website just by handing out your business card. If you're leaving a restaurant and you just had a good meal, tell the owner of the restaurant, by the way, that was a great meal. And by the way, I happen to be in real estate. And if you're ever thinking of buying or selling a restaurant, for instance, I've got 150 restaurants on my website, buyers and sellers, and you're welcome to go there absolutely free and have a look. So you have to learn what's going to be in your store, in your real estate store, which is your office building on the internet. If you just say, I have a website with real estate, that's not good enough because every real estate person has a website. You need to point out what's on your website, that you've got exclusive listings that other brokers don't have. You've got power of sales. You've got residential properties. You've got commercial properties. You've got investment. You've got all of these different kinds of businesses, and that they should go to your website and see them. So the promotion of your website is important. There's a lot of industry options on your website, and we support all websites in the world. Everybody that has a website, no matter who it's with, and there's 30 major different companies that we work with, we support them all with these widgets to go on your website that trigger the leads. And they're inevitable to trigger leads because people cannot click on them as long as you're a member. If your membership ever expires, they do become clickable. So there's a cost to kind of build all of these services along the line, but you can have those links even if you are not a member, because they're free if you're not a member, but the public will be able to click on them, or the public might still call you, and you're leaving that to chance. And if you have a chance to make $30,000 because of one click that you could miss, that's up to you. We're recommending that you join ICI World and keep yourself the membership for the rest of your life, because one click on, or one inquiry on any one of the listings can make you a lot of money, and it's a lifetime of payment that you make to, basically you can make enough money to pay for several lifetime memberships on ICI World, considering that it's basically $319 per year. Benefits to the public is that there's more choices than other realtors. So when you're talking to people, if there's 4 realtors talking to individual people, how can you get them to go to your website when they don't have enough time to go all 4? Well, maybe you should say that you actually have more choices than other realtors because you're privy to exclusive listings that other brokers do not have. But you also have the MLS. Make sure that you always mention that. And that in addition, they can find out about these exclusive opportunities not on other real estate boards, and also it's more opportunities. So it now becomes a race to try to get all of your customers to put your mobile website on their phone. And the beauty is they'll have it hopefully the rest of their life, and any of their friends, family, or relatives thinking of real estate, they can pull out their phone, press one button, bring up your website, and bingo, they can give you a call. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to demonstrate that now. And what I'm doing is I'm actually opening up my mobile phone. I'm going to show you how the mobile sites work to set this up really nicely. And let me see if I can do this really nice and quick. I think I can. I did it the other day and it seems to work. Now I'm logging in to this particular webinar on my mobile phone. And it's opening up, and I'm going to start sharing it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the computer over to the mobile phone. Let me see. Oh, actually, I got into the wrong one. The one that I'm used to getting into, I got into, and that's not the one. Today's meeting is a special webinar with a special number, and I have to put that number in, which I was putting the one I was used to putting in, and I'm putting in that special number now. Pardon me for this. And 7, 4. Okay, hang on 1 second. 41171. Okay. Enter valid 744. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, I see, and that's a website. I'm actually going to stop this recording for a moment. Okay, so now we're recording. You'll see on the screen a mobile device come up, and actually that is my mobile device. And I'm going to go back to my main screen. Here we go. And so you can see what happens. And if I say that we're 3 seconds away from checking listings, you click on one button, the ICI World at the top. You can click on search residential or commercial at the there, and you click on search, and bingo, the listings come up. Now, one of the ways to trigger leads is when you put a listing on ICI World, you'll see down at the bottom there's a thing called homepage. Well, that's a way to get more traffic to your website by having your website address in every single listing. And I can tell you that if someone is interested in this particular listing, they might click on that homepage. And let's see what happens when it comes up. And I see that there's an internal server error. So it looks like this particular gentleman's website is actually not working. Those are issues of the internet. And I'm happy to show them because I know that I think he was maybe getting a new website and he hasn't removed the website address that wasn't working there before, hasn't removed it. Now we're waiting for this other link to kind of come up here. It's kind of working at the top. You'll see a blue line way up at the top coming through. And let's try this particular one here and see if this one works. Home page. Try to click on that and see if this person's home page comes up. And yeah, it looks like now you'll see that Don Gamble's website is mobilized. It fits on the page very, very nicely. This is what we call, and he's got a whole bunch of services and everything else here. Okay, now I'm going to click on that little hamburger button, the 3 buttons way up at the top, and you'll see all of this come out. Now, I don't see any of the widgets from ICI World. If I do a property search, it looks like it's strictly the MLS, which is good. Nothing wrong with that. You want to have that on your screen. But I'm going to show you a website that has a little bit more than all of that. And I'm going to use Nadia's website here. I've used it for examples, and it's so nice that she allows me to kind of do that there. And then you'll see a nice website coming up, all mobilized. But when you click on her website, all of a sudden you're going to see not only the search MLS, which every broker has. Every broker's got this on their website, searching the MLS. And that's good. You can tell people they can search MLS from your website. And it's important to have the people do the search from within your website and not leave your website. One little fine point that can make the difference of you making money and not making money. The second thing is these websites that we supply, they have another button, and in this case we're using the GTA Homes and Condos, and it goes for every city in North America. We have websites that have 300,000 real estate people using these website salespeople, and these listings can come up in your community no matter where you are located. Any place in the world, you're going to have listings come up in your state, province, or country, and people can click on one of these listings, for instance, and when they do click on it, which is beautiful, they're going to love this on your phone, beautiful pictures come up of the home with the interior photos of these homes. And you tell me if this isn't what I call the ultimate of the internet marketing on the internet. I call it the ultimate of marketing on the internet. When you can see these beautiful color photos coming up of properties, and your name and telephone number is going to be right there. So people can pick up the phone and call you. This is the ultimate in marketing on the internet, in my opinion, and hopefully you agree. How much does it cost? Free for 1 month when you join ICI World, and then after that, it's $199 per year. Prices are subject to change without notice. So if you see this a year or two from now, the prices could be less or more. I don't know. It's not by us. It's by a major company on the internet, of which we are official distributors, official educators, and we are a first line of support for these websites. So we actually distribute these websites from ICI World, and we set it up in a very special way that you will have all of these choices of listings. And we suggest that the way that you trigger leads is having these listings on the screen. Yes, you can have my grass is greener, how to make grass greener, fences make good neighbors, how to do barbecues. You can do all of that in something special called a resource center. You'll see resource links down at the bottom. But we think that the main reasons, and I'm talking from a broker point of view, helping everybody that I know in real estate as if we were all in the society together and as maybe the head of the society, so to speak. We want all of you to be generating leads. And so now, in addition to the GTA homes and condos, in addition to the search MLS that you see there, you're going to have something else called residential exclusives. Now, in the residential exclusive, this button works fine. People can see these listings, but we actually have another one that's kind of mobilized, but it brings up the same listings. If somebody clicks on Brampton, for instance, you're going to see all the listings coming up, residential in Brampton, and if somebody is interested in this particular one for $900,000, they are going to try to click on that link, and they cannot do it. People, this is the big deal for today's session. If you've gotten this far and can hear this, this is the thing that's the difference that should make a difference for you on your website from all the other brokers in the industry, because people cannot click on that particular listing. They can't do it. They have to call you. Now, I am going to recommend Nadia should have her name and phone number right at the top of this page, and it's not there right now. And what you would have to do with Nadia is you'll have to go to the contact page. Where's Nadia's contact page? Ooh, the contact page is not there, Nadia. And we're going to have to fix that. Let me see if it's in. The contact page is actually missing. Let me go down to the very bottom. There should be a way to click on the email. Oh, there's an email down at the bottom, email Nadia. Now, when you click on that, it brings up her form, and there she is. She can actually send, if I was the customer and I was sending her an email and say, interested in this property, interested, spell it right, there we go. Interested. Okay, you get the picture. I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, there we go. And then send me information on message number, and I can just click on OK, and it will send me the information, and she'll get a copy of that email. But in addition to that, if I clicked on additional information, that'll keep me in touch with her, and she might be able to send me all the new listings in the area that match the description of what I'm looking for. And that's as a result of this other special button that no other website has that I know of, and if you know of one, give me a call. But it's this other one here called Property Search. And this is amazing because we know that the MLS can send out listings. You can program yourself to receive these listings. You can put in your price low and put in your price high. This triggers leads, because if you do an open house and have 5 people subscribe to this service free and they happen to choose residential, they can come down here and specify a location. And if they're interested in Toronto, they can pick any area in Toronto, or they can pick all the areas in Toronto that they're looking for, or specify an area. They only want to be in the Distillery District or North York or something like that. They can do it. This website will automatically send them out listings when they become available. So if you did an open house and 5 people you got subscribed one weekend, they're going to start to receive the odd listing that matches the description of what they're looking for, and you can actually zero in on a neighborhood. And I'd like to show you how you can do that. Let's go back here and go back to specify, because it's very, very, you can see all the neighborhoods that people can subscribe to, and you can eliminate the other neighborhoods. So that's the kind of thing that can be done with this website to trigger leads for you for the rest of your life. And that way it works automatically for you. You get a call 2 weeks from now. Somebody says, I got an email from your website. I'd like to go see this house tonight at 7 o'clock. Can you set it up for me? And that's exactly what can be done. So that's on the residential side. And then when you have exclusive listings and you put them on ICI World, you will also have this button where you can post your haves and wants on ICI World, and then they will also show up on your website as well, and you'll see them there. And you can also, of course, advertise your regular MLS listings on ICI World as well. So that's exclusive, and there's a special button that Nadia doesn't have yet that is for residential that we've made for mobile devices. In fact, we'll show you an example of that with commercial. Now, as a commercial broker, you might like this because you're going to have all the listings in your particular area. And if you're a residential salesperson and somebody comes here and let's say they're looking in Brampton for a property or Mississauga or something, I'm just using Brampton because this is the beginning of the alphabet, faster for me to choose, I can search. You'll see all the listings come up. Now, you're a residential salesperson, somebody comes to your website and maybe they're interested in this listing here. They can't click on it. They have to call you. I'm interested in message. The call's going to be, I'm interested in 352-254. Can you help me? And you're going to say, yes, I can help you as a residential salesperson. I will have someone call you back. You can contact that other broker who's got that listing and say, listen, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? It becomes absolutely inevitable for you to trigger leads if you've got these listings on your website. If you don't have them, you have no chance to trigger a lead on any of these. The moment you put it on your website, the very next person that visits your website, and maybe they're interested in any one of these kind of things here, keyword, power of sale, and they click on it. These are all the power of sales. Would you like to have power of sales on your website? Bingo, it triggers a lead. I'm suggesting that it's the information supplied in these widgets. Somebody's interested in an apartment building, same thing. Look at that. You'll have over 400 apartment buildings on your website, and if somebody's interested in that, you can end up triggering a lead and doing a referral. All because people cannot click on the links. Now, the value to the public is that more information becomes available of an exclusive nature than any other place, and you will have it. And I'm going to show you the world one because we've got one now for residential that's the same as this, all residential. People can actually zero in on their business area. They can actually go and choose whatever business area that they're interested in, and actually within a matter of seconds, they can pick the city that they're interested in. And if it's Greater Toronto Area, they can zero in right on a city. And if it happens to be Toronto that people are looking, they click on it. You can actually sort all these listings by price. They're doing it on your website, and they can search. Click on OK. So up comes all these listings that are all less than 90 days old. The mobile apps only give listings that are less than 90 days old on your website and on ICI World. And that way, these are all current, active opportunities that are out there subject to what's happened in the last 90 days. So that's the way it triggers leads. And if you don't have it on your website, you can spend all the money you want on pay-per-click and get thousands of people going to your website. But what's going to happen is when people click on these things, what they're going to see if they're searching, for instance, the MLS, and we'll do a search on MLS just to show you what happens here. And let's just pick a location, and I'll type Brampton again because it's easier to type right away. And then let's say they're looking for freehold, and we got to start putting in all of this information here. Let's put in, say, 1 million to maybe 1,100,000. And we have to choose, I think we can maybe do it with that. Let's give it a shot. Search. And up comes the listings, but the problem is it's coming up with the addresses. So I have a question for you. If someone sees that address, now I'm not talking about your regular customers that you have calling you. They're going to call you and give you a list of MLS numbers. Say, I want to go see these three, on the weekend. I'm talking about new customers to your website. Is it possible they might see that address and maybe drive by the property first? If they do that, they'll see the sign on the front of the property from the other broker. And then if they see the sign on the property from the other broker, is it possible they call the other broker and they end up doing a deal? So in other words, it's possible that you can spend a lot of money promoting your website, and some of the the opportunities are actually going to the other brokers because the addresses are showing. But it's important to have this. You must have this. If you're a broker, you want to make sure that you have all of the important, competent, major services in the industry on your website working for you. But that's the issue there. Now, the beautiful thing is if they see some of these, and if they do go direct and maybe don't buy it, The point is will they maybe come to your website and search the residential exclusive, do the same thing clicking on Brampton with these particular widgets, and you'll notice here that they can go down to the 1 million price range, and there's a house for sale for 1.2, but they cannot click on that particular one. So you're going to get the call on this particular one, and that is all we want as a realtor in this business, an opportunity to talk with someone, to provide some service, develop a business relationship that can last a lifetime. That's really what we want, an opportunity to talk to people, and that's what this is all about. So in other words, setting up your website in the first place is a very important thing to do so that you can have all of this. You should tell people that you have FSBOs on your website. Look at that. Under commercial, you'll see FSBOs, and I'll click on that. And when it comes up comes the FSBOs. And if I do the same thing, I know I'm picking on Brampton, or here's Burlington, for instance. I pick on this. These are the private buyers and sellers on ICI World that are looking to buy and sell properties. They can be displayed on your website. Again, nobody can click on those listing numbers. You get the calls. That's a big deal in the business. I'm surprised that it hasn't taken off like a shot right now. It should be, because it's a no-brainer to have this kind of stuff on a real estate website. People want leads from their website, and they wonder why they're not getting them. Well, we've shown you how people can be going direct because of the addresses, but now with the ICI World widgets, they cannot do it. But if your membership expires, people can click on those listings, and it's still a service like MLS when you think about it, in the sense that people can click on the number and get the information. It's like classified ads if you had them. And that's what this is. People can click on it. But the people that are dealing with you will always want to deal with you. Okay, so that's the same thing, and this goes for any website. And these links now can actually be placed on your website no matter what website you have. It doesn't matter what company, you can have these kinds of widgets on your website. Here's an example of another website that's a mobile website. Again, you click on it. You can have these residential widgets. In fact, I think she does. She has the new residential widget from ICI World. You'll see residential in the middle. In fact, if I was to search the residential listings, and I'm not even going to pick an area, I'm just going to sort them by price to see what's come in the last 90 days. And there's some of the listings that are coming in, the residential on this particular website. So there's a custom built home for $2.8 million. Nobody can click on it. You can end up getting the call. In this particular case, she's done a nice job here of placing her information at the top so people can either call her directly or they can get a list of numbers and click on the email. Her email pops right up, and people can actually enter the number right into the comments field and send her an email and ask for more information. As we go forward, we can work it so people can click on it and make things more automatic. Keep in mind, this is a cutting-edge technology service built by brokers. We're not the geniuses like some of these other people doing things in Facebook that got, $200 million to put into this stuff. We're doing things from the ground up, but it's working smooth as a baby's bum, and we're just moving along forward, triggering leads, and someday if somebody comes along with a couple of dollars, they can kind of take it to the next level. But really, we think this should be in the hands of brokers worldwide. So we're looking forward to one of the major world organizations for real estate to kind of pick up this service and make it available for every country in the world. It's instantly available for every country in the world if they adopt this service. But we're going to keep growing it until there's interest at different levels to kind of do this stuff. Okay, so now what we're going to do is switch back and continue on here, and hopefully that worked okay for you on the videos and the recording and the playback and all that kind of different stuff, because once we do this stuff, sometimes the playback and all these things don't work exactly the way they're supposed to. All right, now how can I get this back switched? Let me see here. Show my screen. I think I just click on that. Let's try it. And that's not working. No one can see your screen. Click to start screen sharing. Click to start screen sharing. Where is it? Give keyboard, give presenter. Stop. Change presenter maybe. Okay, let's go here and make presenter. Here we go. I'm going to go back to showing my screen, and hopefully you can see the screen. So it should become a race to get your mobile website onto every one of your customers' phones. Checklist to optimize. Links to listings, we suggest, is the key, is what we've shown you. A lot of people are ignoring that, and they're wondering why they're not generating leads, so we think that's a major reason. And then you should have a minimum of, when you put listings on the websites we supply, you should have at least 5 photos. We find that some people are not getting the handshake agreements with all the listings on their website because they're not doing photos. You must make sure you do photos. And you should program every single buyer wants into the website. Now, we know that you can do this with MLS. Subscribe to have all the new listings for MLS being sent to your customers, but the MLS cannot send out the exclusive listings that these websites do. That's another major factor to trigger leads for you, is to get people programmed on both services, in our opinion. Otherwise, you're missing out. Keep in mind, we're speaking from a broker's point of view. What's the absolute very best for you? And it would be best to program both. That way they'll get the MLS and they'll get the exclusive listings emailed to them if you do that. We suggest that you add a resource center to your website, and the resource center should include everything such as a moving checklist, how to calculate land transfer tax, what could lawyers' fees possibly be, what are the things to think about, all those kind of things. And then if they move into a community, do the people really know where the community centers are, the shopping, where's the police station, where's the city hall, how do you sign up for hydro? All of those things can be resources in your website, including events and upcoming events in the community. And so if somebody asks you any questions that you feel is a standard thing to answer and that has a website that explains it, you should put those links as a resource into your website. And your website can be almost a community center of resources, so that other people will even recommend going to your website for all these links. What are the samples of some links? Well, I'm going to show you very quickly, and how I can show that to you, let me see, is to go to the login when you're a member, and there's a training videos down here that we have for members. And oopsie daisy, looks like I got to log in here. Let's see if I can remember real quick, and don't forget my password. Here we go. And get that done quick, and I'll log in for 1 month at a time and remember the login ID and log into the website. And it looks like I have made myself an error here. Hang on 1 second. Try it again. And let's try to log into the site. An error occurred. Why is that? Okay, I'm going to stop the video here until I get in. Hang on a second. Okay, so we're logged into the special video training programs that are on ICI World, private and confidential for exclusive use of members. But one of the things here is number 14, resource links. And I'm going to click on this resource link ideas. And there is a whole list of example links that you could have on your resource link for your website. All of these, one of these could be a reason why somebody wants to visit your website again. Next thing you know, they see a listing and end up calling you, and you engage them. You get them coming back to your website on a regular basis. You tell them that you've got new listings coming in on your website on a regular basis. That one feature alone, that you've got new listings coming in daily. If you're not telling people that, why should they come back and visit your website? These other things like resources here, all these different things, a checklist for moving, and you can actually sell advertising, believe it or not, on your website. You can get all of this paid for by selling advertising on your website. Make a deal with somebody, or you can even do a contra deal where maybe if it's a mortgage broker, you put them on your website if the mortgage broker will put you on their website. So that's another way to kind of start doing things. And you should do reciprocal links with people. And there's some of the example links that you could build for your own community in your particular area. And how about this one? Reasons to work with a realtor. Why not have this link, reasons to work with a realtor? Let's make sure these links are still working. Live with no regret. Reasons to buy and sell real estate with a realtor. And these are some of the horror stories that people have had not dealing with a realtor. And you can have that on your website. So why should people take a chance dealing in the largest single trade of their whole life to having a mistake that makes them pay for their whole life? And that's one of the things that realtors can ensure, that they have a proper sale going along here. And reasons to use a realtor, there's a whole different links, and you can use these links on your website to show people why they should be dealing with you. So that's the resource section on your website. Everyone should have one of those. Okay, and when you do have a website, you definitely must log into it once per month. If you don't, you can actually lose it. We've got 2 people in this last week that actually lost their website, lost their domain name. What happens is you have domain names, and if you don't renew them on time, you can actually lose your domain name. So if you want leads for your website, I'm suggesting you put your domain names on auto renewal, because if you get a couple of emails and don't see them in time and you're away on vacation or out of the country, you can actually lose your domain name and can't even get it back, as somebody else might take it on you. Even if it's your own name, they do it on purpose for a couple of bucks, hoping that maybe someday you might want to buy it back from them for $2,000. And that's exactly what's happening if you let a domain name expire. Worse than that, you can get a porno site taking your domain name, and then what happens? We had a police department one time we know of in Ohio lost their domain name. They didn't renew it on time, and it was the critics of the police department that all of a sudden people went to the website and now saw all the problems with the police department, and we're all splattered all over this website. So you got to be careful. Keep your websites recorded, and also you're going to find in a moment, and I'm going to call it the top 8 items. And if you want, you can mark this down on a pad of paper. The heart and soul of this session today is coming up, and it's called the top 8 items that you should have working for you. If you make numbers 1 to 8 on a piece of paper directly under each other, and we're going to talk about that, of things that you can be doing to your own website to get it coming up in the search engines of the world when people search. Okay, so without listings, why should people call you? If you're driving traffic to your website, you want to make sure the listings can trigger leads for you. We've just talked about this already. And it's the concept of hiding addresses. We have a special way to do it. We've got a lot of people with the same websites that don't do it. And we suggest that getting people to call you for the address is what you want to do. You want to trigger people to call you and give you an opportunity to give them the address and talk about the property, open up and develop a relationship so you can show them the properties. Now, some of the sample links that you can put on your website that trigger the leads, there they are. And there's IDX link available. That's the IDX link from ICI World that you're looking at, but there's also IDX links available from your real estate board, and we actually help you set all of this up for you. So we are official installers of, for instance, for the Toronto Real Estate Board, we install the IDX links on every member's website, and we actually do it for you, included in your membership. So these are turnkey operations that get you set up and going, and because it's HTML, you can design it any way you want. Yes, we start with a mini template but from there you can build it into anything you want. The key with the services that we supply are the listings. It comes with listings that are not on real estate boards, and that you're also going to have the real estate board. So you really are providing the best of both worlds in the marketplace, not just one and missing the other. We've talked about that. Links to listings. You're going to get 6 of them from ICI World, exclusive information, structured so that you get the calls. And the reasons why you're not getting leads, I'm letting you know now, it's lack of listings. I know we've harped on that, but we're trying to make sure that everyone learns. It's part of the teaching mechanism here. If you stayed this long, you really want to make this stuff work. I'm showing you how to really make it work. And listings not framed within your website. If somebody clicks on a listing and it takes them to another website someplace else, people can see the URL and they can end up going to that website and dealing direct. And so they may try to bypass you that way. Now, people can bypass you no matter what if they really, really, really want to. So we're suggesting that you have to be responsible to provide great service, that if somebody calls you, bingo, you answer the phone and then say, listen, may I get right back to you? And then call them a half an hour later and kind of go from there. If people have a response, they don't have a problem. If they're not getting responses and your mailboxes are full, and we've had people reporting on that, you're getting leads from your website, but you're not even getting the calls because your mailboxes are full or not returning their calls on time. And believe me, they are calling more than one realtor at one time, so it's the one that gives the best service. That's another way to make sure that your leads are productive. We have various training videos, and we're going to cover some of what's in one of these training videos right now, and that is how to actually pick a domain name. Domain names are key strategy to help you have trigger leads from your website. And but there's also another list of resources here, and you can go there if you just write that down on a pad of paper, icshagworld.com/resources. This is resources for you to follow up on how to promote your website. In fact, I'll just click on it very quickly here, and you'll see that real estate lead generating resources, social media resources, computer tips, education. There's all kinds of wonderful links here on producing more leads for your website, and this is a result of a culmination of being on the internet for many, many, many years. Here it is, people. You should write all this stuff down. This is the top 8. This has literally cost over $4,000 to learn some of this stuff by having to attend some world search engine conventions. You could theoretically even just take a take a camera picture with your phone, or you can write this stuff down, or you can do a Snagit capture. If you know how to do Snagit on your computer. I wonder if I can do that right now just to kind of show you. Watch this. I'm going to type in Snagit, and you'll see a Snagit editor come up, and I'm going to do it, and you'll see the Snagit editor. Where did it go? Hang on one second. Where did it go? Oh, there it is up there. Oh, that's my Snagit feature, and I can actually go up here and actually copy the screen, and actually I can save that to my computer. Anyways, I'm just showing you how there's tools that you will learn in some of our other webinars on how to do some of this stuff. Number 1, however, is domain name. We are suggesting that you should have or consider having 3 domain names. One should be a short name, namely your own personal name. So if you were johnsmith.com, you should have it. Or johnsmithrealestate.com, that kind of thing. In other words, a short name that people can remember you, where they don't even have to write it down, and they can just remember it and go on their computer and type in your name and get to your website. That should be one of the names. But another name, you must have the location in which you're located in, and maybe the word real estate or homes for sale in Mississauga, real estate, in Markham, something with the term of the business you're doing, real estate, and the city in which you're located in. Now, you got to be careful. We had, for instance, one gentleman had a website in Kingston. So if you put kingstonrealestate.com, that sounds good if you're in Kingston, Ontario. The problem was he was getting thousands of hits from Kingston, Jamaica. So each city has its own unique issues. And if you want, we can discuss some of those issues. But today, we're actually going to give you $100 free advice. Right now, you can join Google AdWords. Mark it down and ask them for $100 free. Each of you should open up a Google AdWords account, and they will give you $100 free to start up. So just taking this seminar today, not only is it free, we're actually giving you $100 of advertising with the knowledge that you can ask for it. And when they do, they actually have an analytical program that they will show you. Make sure they show you the analytics of searching domain names and keywords in your particular area. And we're going to suggest that you can drill down into the location in which you are, because if you try to get your domain name to the top of Toronto, for instance, or Miami or Chicago, New York, any major city, there's millions of people already ahead of you doing this. But if you took a neighborhood that you work in, Distillery District, High Park District, or maybe drill down into a neighborhood, you'll get less clicks in that area, but the clicks you get are pertinent to that area. And if you have listings in that area, it is going to trigger leads. And if you need to discuss some of this further, you just simply make an appointment on ICI World. Now, the page title is also important, that it also include. So if I was to take, let's say, Mississauga Real Estate for You.com, number 4 letter U, or buy Mississauga Real Estate, something that has effect, or invest in real estate in Mississauga. Anytime somebody searches those words on the internet, you have a chance of coming up. Now, assuming that a lot of people have that in their domain names, Google will now go to the second thing, the page title. And if you've got the same thing in the page title, you now have a chance over somebody else that doesn't have it in their title. Then you go to the meta description and the meta keywords. Those are things from within your website, and it does not matter which website company you are working with. You should go over these descriptions with your internet website designer, whoever it is, and ask them, what are my meta description? What are my meta keywords? And after you've had Google AdWords for a while, you're going to learn what are the best meta tags and meta descriptions to put into your website. And if you don't know how to do it, you call your website designer and have them do it. If you want to put oil in your car or get your electronic ignition adjusted or fixing flat tires, you take it to a repairman and get it done. The same thing is true with your website. You get the people that can help you technically to kind of do this stuff. If you don't know how to do it, you get them to do it. And then, this is something surprising, a lot of people don't know, but the first sentence on your page, you should, now somebody's just joined our webinar and they haven't muted the phone. So what I'm going to do is, I think I can mute the phone for them here. If I can find where that's done here, audio, audience, where are they? Where the heck is it here? Just one moment. There we go. So that's the meta keyword. So first sentence on the page. You know, when Google goes to a page and they see, let's say, Brampton real estate, Miami real estate, San Diego real estate, wherever it is, Vancouver real estate, Collingwood real estate, that's okay if you got it in your domain name page title, you've got it in your meta description, meta keywords. And the people in the smaller communities, you're going to get right to the top of the search engines right away. But in the bigger communities, you got to do more stuff. You got to highlight the first sentence on your page. Welcome to, and you can name your company and your name, your source for real estate in the Collingwood area. So you got to put all of that stuff on the first page of your website. And then you have a chance of coming over somebody else that didn't do it. Now, let's say you've got all of the first 5 done, but so do a bunch of other realtors have that done. Then, if you registered your domain name for 10 years and the other person registered it for 1 year, your website may come up before the other one just because you registered it for longer. And then we go to number 7, mobile. If you have a mobile website, believe it or not, Google can go out, check all the websites in the world, and if you're mobilized and the other one isn't, your website's going to come up before the other one. Isn't that something? So these are items to get to the top of the search engine, give yourself the best chance to be found. The next item is social media. In other words, if you've got the Facebook and the Twitter and all these other links on your website, you've got a blog and all these other things going on your website, you have a chance of coming up over someone that does not have this stuff. So today's session, is it valuable? It should be. If you implement all of these items that are on this page, you're going to have more of a chance of coming up over other real estate brokers in the industry and rise to the top of the search engines, hopefully. But if you want to get to the top of the search engine within 48 hours, it is number 8. Number 8, let's talk about it. Let's say you set a budget of $100, $200, $300 a month, and it's $1 a click. Each time somebody searches, let's say Mississauga real estate, you will come up on the top of the search engine within 48 hours, and you can talk to Google about that. You want to be on the top. How much does it cost? We don't know. I don't know. They have their pay-per-click search engine estimates of what an average pay-per-click is, and it might be 20 cents. It might be 50 cents. It might be $1, $2, $3, $5. I've seen $5 for real estate website companies up there. And let's say that it's $1 to come up in your city. Well, what happens is it's free when people search and your website comes up. If they don't click on it, there's no charge until someone does click on it. But I'll tell you something, if you've got all our widgets on your website, you've got the MLS on your website, you've got all of this stuff working, and if you come up in the search engine and somebody searches Toronto real estate and they go to your website, they are going to see something that they should be calling you on. And so you can evaluate this every 30, 60, 90 days. And that's what our evaluation and pledge is all about. If you're not generating leads every 90 days, you must call us. And I'll give you an example. We've had some people where Google reports that they're getting like 1,000 hits. But I don't go by that. As a broker, as far as I'm concerned, we got to get the calls. We've got to get the leads. You can tell us I get 1,000,000 hits, but if I'm not making any money, that's not helping me. So you want to make sure that it's triggering leads to get you the calls. And I'm suggesting people can come to your website and enjoy your website and then leave. If they're just enjoying your website, getting a bunch of tools and then leave, how are you going to make any money? So by having listings that people have to call you on, if they're not serious enough to call you, that's probably just as well, because why should people be wasting your time? You want to get good qualified callers calling you, and if people want to take the time and it's a $1 million home in the area that they're looking, they're not going to overlook that potential exclusive listing that could be the home of their dreams. They're going to call you. And if they're not going to call you, then maybe just as well. And so those are the top 8 to get to the top of the search engines of the world. There they are. And that's compliments of ICI World and the things that we have learned on the internet thus far. Okay, link references. We're not going to use this, but you've got them all on the internet. In fact, I might even just say visit the ICI World Educational YouTube channel, and that will do the trick because we're recording this all the time. Now, we do have some special things from search engine optimizations from Google. Actually, I'm going to show it to our potential members and our existing members. I'm actually going to go show you here that we have a large section on this because we believe it to be that important. I'm going to go down here to the training videos on the left-hand side. And when I go down here, you're going to see number 15, segment 5, how to promote your website. And you're going to see a series of videos, 10 proven ways from Forbes. This is a world newspaper publication, Forbes. 25 ways the pros use to promote websites. And you're going to see a number of different resources that you can go to learn how to promote your website. And part of it is an SEO guide here that you can click on from the Point 2 people. Website Optimizer overview from Google. 25 website must-haves, and all of these various tools that you'll see here building traffic for your website is all included here in that number 15, segment 5 for members, how to promote your real estate website. So those are some tools. If you've been marking those down, you'll have access to them at a later time. It's particularly important where there's, if you have all of these ads on your website. And yes, we have one broker who's done 15 referrals. That's a total of 75 minutes of his time, and he's made $45,000 triggering leads to do referrals. And I like to have people that are doing that. So when you do it, please let me know. We just love to kind of hear about it. There's many ways to trigger leads to a website. We've covered some of them today. Handing out more of your business cards, but tell people what's on your website. Don't just send them and say you have a real estate web. Tell them what's on your website. Residential, commercial, exclusive, color photos, slideshow displays. Let them know that you've got listings coming for sale that are not on any other broker's website, coming for sale before they hit the market. And make sure that you get all the people to put your mobile website on their phone. One of the ways you can get more people, walk all the businesses in your downtown area first thing in the morning when they're opening the doors, and go in and introduce yourself as the realtor in the area. Say, here's my business card. If you want to see all the new properties coming for sale in the area, and if you're ever thinking of buying or selling, visit our website and see what's happening. And by the way, why don't you put it on your phone and show them on your phone what you've got, how you can subscribe to them to receive listings coming in the area. and you're coming in, doing business and learning all about their business. They're learning about your business. That's developing good business relationships in your area going forward. So that's something you can go and use that as a talking matter. And get ideas from them. Sell the content on your website. Let them know that you've got lists of buyers. In fact, people are going to really like that, knowing that you're very well plugged in when you've got lists of buyers on your website. So that's part of the promotion of what you're doing for your website. Now, we've talked about domain names, one of the big 5. It's actually the big 8. In fact, I'm going to change that number to 8 right now because we just covered that for you. 8. Bingo. Save that going forward and then make it number 8. There we go, one of the big 8. And we've covered all of this for you already. Placing keywords, and you can learn some of those keywords with your Google AdWords advisor when they do that. So these major engines go out and they crawl those, what we call the meta tags and the keywords and all that stuff, and they put it into this index in Google, and that's how all of a sudden next time somebody searches, bingo, your page can pop up. Pay-per-click is the fastest, easiest way to kind of get to the top of the search engine, and it must pay for you. If it doesn't pay for you, I'm going to suggest you give us a call and we'll help you analyze it. We'd even like to do a conference call, the 3 of us, and just ask nice questions to Google, what we're trying to do, and show them how your website is very pertinent for your particular area. You've got listings for that area, both exclusive and residential, commercial, etc. So that when people do a search on Google, your page is relevant to what they searched, and they should click on it, and they should call you on some of these ads, and you should be doing business. And I'm suggesting that you consider establishing a budget and definitely doing an experiment to do this search engine optimization. We know people that are spending $1,000 a month on pay-per-click. That's $12,000 a year, but they're making $300,000 and $400,000 a year. Toronto, condos, downtown Toronto, stuff like that is very hot. You might even pay $5 a click. But if you sell a home and you make $32,000, it was worth it. That's the bottom line. You must analyze it. Are you making money? Then keep doing it. And that's what this is all about. I think you can get $100, not the $75, and that's through Google AdWords, google.com/ads. There it is right there. Okay, there's AdWords help. We're going to just move on in the essence of time to get through here. Now, another thing is websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and if you can get one for $16.50 and the other one is maybe $20, $30, or $40, why not? It's part of your annual budget that you should set for $199 a year to take the best advantage and tools of the internet can provide, and keep it going. Don't give up. If you're not triggering leads, give us a call. I'm not going to talk about using computer to fax because that's not too many people are doing that anymore, but at one time, we used to do a fax multicast, and it was generating business. Email multicasts, however, are still pretty good. If you have a list of 300, 400, 500 people, you can send them maybe a monthly or even a quarterly newsletter by email and talking about what's going on in the industry, real estate-wise. You can even include community events, charitable events, anything of interest you think they could be interested in. Improvements to their home and checking on things, events going on in the industry, and then make sure that you have your website and tell them what's on your website. Click here and say add it to your phone, and you can do searches for real estate right on your phone. Takes up no resources. Can you imagine if you go to a builders association meeting and you hand out your business card, and there's 2 realtors there. One says, here's my card, and he's got no website, or he's got a website and says, yeah, we're on the internet. But you hand out your business cards and tell them you have 300 pieces of development land in the Greater Toronto area, if that's where you are. Bingo, they're going to want to grab your card. And even if they don't know how to get on the internet themselves, they're going to get one of their assistants to do it for them and get them a complete list. They end up giving you a call. You can do a referral to the person that's got that piece of land, or you can go sell it yourself if you're so inclined. Triggering leads, this is what it's all about. Networking your site to lawyers, accountants. Let people know that you got a website with all this stuff on it. Mortgage brokers, you can do reciprocal links, get them to put them on your site and vice versa. Magnetic signs in cars, just listing a website address is one thing, but if there's a way that you can say thousands of listings with color photos and slideshow displays, that's really going to help people get people going to your website. Social media, you bet. Some people in your family don't realize how well plugged in you are to all the business that's going on right now in real estate. They don't know you got all these exclusive listings and everything else. So you want to put it on your website. So when people visit from a family point of view, and then they might click on residential, and if they had an interest in real estate they didn't tell you about, all of a sudden they see, oh my God, look how well plugged in you are to all of this stuff in real estate. They're more likely to maybe call you from family members. Publicity and advertising, yep, you can do it. That's another way. You put an ad in a newspaper for one house. Why not put at the bottom of the ad thousands of color photos and slideshow displays of listings coming on the market daily on my website and then list it? Just add an extra line or two. Studying keywords, very important. And there is an optimization tool that Google will help you with as well. Don't try to trick the search engines. We've had people try to do it, and you can actually get blacklisted for doing it. Finding keywords, there is a Google will help you with the keyword tool there. Linking to other sites and vice versa, that starts to build credibility over a period of time that you're a credible website. Reciprocal links, yep. I mean, people from around the world, they check sometimes local embassies. The embassy refer them to city halls in Canada, and next thing you know, people can actually search the City Hall website and end up seeing your website that are listed, and it's a free listing for you to kind of do all that kind of stuff. Listings on domain names, we've kind of covered that a little bit. We do have a 22-minute video that kind of helped that. And if you want an appointment with us to help you design, set up a domain name, and actually do an analysis on your existing website, we're happy to do that absolutely free, complimentary of ICI World. Feel free to call anytime. And we do have website checklists that can go over things, but the websites today are pretty darn good. They've got a lot of the good essential features. Never forget our pledge. And if there's any managers of records, or if there's anyone that maybe has not done well on ICI World, you should have called us within 90 days. You should never go longer than 90 days without either doing a deal or, at the very minimum, developing a good business relationship with someone that leads to doing a deal, or give us a call, make an appointment. We're having all our members now just simply make an appointment. Let's phone calls kind of kill us both, so just make an appointment. We'll get together and we'll give you our undivided attention. We find that it's been a wonderful quality approach to providing service to the industry, and we enjoy doing it. We actually have a nice checklist here called material defects that we will go through, and we can go through it very quickly. And if you go to our pledge and read it, it'll have a list of those material defects. And get your $100 of free advertising from Google. We've already talked about that. And good luck. And there is a survey after this particular session, how you found this session. Was it helpful? In consideration of us taking our time to kind of do this session, we really do appreciate your feedback. It helps us going forward. And if you have suggestions, let us know, but we really appreciate your feedback. That completes our session for today. And for contacts for ICI World, if you want to book anything, go to our main website. Here it is. I'll click on contact, and there's some of our contact information. Give us a call. But better yet, just make an appointment. Whether you're a member or not, make an appointment. We can do a nice little demonstration right over the internet, no matter where you're located in the world. Make an appointment. We can talk to you through the internet. We'll show you how to do that. Have a great day, and we're always here for you.